Beautiful April day. There is no baseball in real life because of world events, but we do have baseball here for you and trying to hopefully ease some of the tension that everybody's been feeling with some good history and some good matchups from the games past. And hopefully these two teams will fill the bill and give us some excitement. This, folks, is Series 166. We're right back with you out of the Park Baseball 21, presenting here another matchup from the past and two teams that used to play in the same division for a few years, but now are no longer in the same division, but two classic National League teams ready to battle it out. So I think you might enjoy it here. Let's take a look at the introductions. And we'll start with the 1993 Cincinnati Reds. Two managers for the Reds, but we'll go ahead and call Davey Johnson the man in charge, as he was in charge most of the year, but the Reds still with a poor record of 73 wins only, so they struggled during the 93 season, just a few years after their world championship. If you followed the Reds in the 90s, you'll recognize some of these famous names there. You can see we had Reggie Sanders on right field. He hit 20 home runs and hit 274. Nobody on the team hit enough to garner over 25 homers or 100 RBIs, which is part of the problem. But some good defense at least. And there you see Robbie Kelly in center. He hit 319 in only 78 games. Kevin Mitchell hit 19 home runs. He hit 341, but only played in 93 games. But wow, while he was out there, he was very, very good. Chris Sable struck out 105 times. He hit 259. We have 32-year-old Juan Samuel out there. He struggled with 230 average. Hal Morris, a very, very good hitter, very good season, 317 with 49 RBIs, not the power, but a good line drive man. And then the Hall of Famer, Barry Larkin, who only played in 100 games, hit 315, 8 and 51 with 14 steals at 29. Larkin, very good, and that was part of the problems with this Reds team. They had a lot of injuries, but when Larkin is out there and other players like Kevin Mitchell, the offense might surprise and actually play much better than the numbers call out for. On the bench, you might recognize Bip Roberts. He hit 240 only, but did have 26 steals. Jacob Brumfield with 20 steals, and Jeff Branson got 412 at bats, but he only hit 241. So a little thin in the offense, but some potential, I think. Looking at the starting rotation, Jose Rio at 28 years old, really into his prime now, 2.48 ERA, 14-9 for him, 2 complete games and a shutout, 227 strikeouts. Will tell you something about Rio stuff. You also got Tim Pugh, 10-15. He struggled quite a bit. Actually was pulled from the rotation a little bit later on. Tim Belcher, 9-6. He also got knocked around a little bit. Tom Browning at 33 years old, 7-7, and John Smiley and John Roper also tried to fill the bill. But beyond Rio, you see here, there's some issues. But if you want to talk about issues, there's even more in the pen. Rob Dibble at 1-4 had a 6.48 ERA, 19 saves, opened the year as the closer, but this was Dibble's downfall for the most part. He wasn't going to rebound from these type of years. A crazy ERA, 8 home runs allowed, 30 earned runs, and walked 42 men in 41 innings. So big trouble for Dibble. Other people stepped in for some saves as well, including 37-year-old Jeff Reardon. But the bullpen obviously in some shambles, as well as the rest of the pitching. So when it comes down to it, I think it was the pitching that did in the Reds in 93. We'll see if Rio gets a couple starts and maybe they can make a series out of it, because they are playing a formidable team. 1975 Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers, second in the National League West. They won 88 games under Walter Alston. I believe it was Alston's last year before Lasorda took over. But they did not get any postseason play. They came up a little bit short. Still a good team, however. You can see Ron Cey, 25 home runs, 101 RBIs. He hit 283 with a very nice 372. Cey had a very good eye out there. Billy Buckner at 25 years old, playing the outfield. He only hit 243 in 92 games, so a tough go over for Buckner. You got Steve Garvey there at 26, 18-95 with a 319. Garvey getting it done. About to go on some stretch here in his career where he was very, very good. Davey Lopes, 77 stolen bases. Yes, that's a whole lot. Hit 262, scored 108 runs. Lopes perfect for an offense to try to find itself and get going. Jim Wynn, 248. He hit 18 home runs with 58 RBIs. You got Willie Crawford out there, and Steve Yeager at catcher struggled a bit at 228. did give you the occasional pop. But Say, Garvey, and Lopes, a very good triplet there in the lineup to garner some runs for the Dodgers. Lee Lacy off the bench, along with John Hale, some other players like Tom Paciorek that you might recognize from the Dodgers, and their starting rotation led by Andy Messersmith, 19 and 14, 229. In 40 starts, he pitched 321 innings. Pretty incredible for that day and age for him to even go that many innings, but did it very well, surrendering 82 earned runs the entire year and winning 19. Doug Rao, 15 and 9. He also got a bunch of innings, 311 for him. Don Sutton, 16 and 13, 287. A great year for Sutton. And Bert Hooten, 18 and 7, 282. So a 292 team ERA. You can see Walter Alston's style. Stay with the reliever as long as you can. It's old school baseball, but with those forearms on top, it worked. And the Dodgers building that reputation probably since Sandy Koufax of having outstanding pitching, and it continues, I believe, to this day today. Mike Marshall, he got 109 innings out of the pen, no starts, but 58 games, 9 and 14 for him, a bunch of innings, the man, and really the only man they would go to out of the pen. He saved 13, but really was a man who was pitching almost on an every other day basis. Rick Rhoden, Al Downing, and Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer, some other players on this team. Even Juan Marichal at 37 was on the roster. He got a couple starts, but I'm sure we won't see any of Marichal. So the Dodgers about to build a dynasty of some pennants here and a championship in 81, and some of the seeds are set in 1975, which creates a good team and ready to be the favorites against this best of 7 against the 93 Reds. The Reds kind of in between here. They're trying to find themselves, while the Dodgers really coming into their own. So it's an interesting series between two National League rivals. First couple games in Los Angeles before we head to the turf of Riverfront for the middle portion of the series. And as always, looking at the Game 1 matchup before we get started, Jose Rio, the true ace of the Reds during this time, against Don Sutton. Sutton, a Hall of Famer, and I think we got an outstanding pitching matchup out at Dodger Stadium for Game 1. So once again, glad you're with us. We're ready to start this series. It's the 93 Reds against the favorite 75 Dodgers, and we are ready to go, heading to the mid-70s for the opening game at Dodger Stadium, Reds and Dodgers. Dodger Stadium we go to now, ready for the action in this one. Setting up our favorite camera angles. Before we start this one, for the first is Don Sutton, and here's the delivery. This ball's hit to third. Play will be made there. Oh, the first is not in time, and we got an infield single by Larkin, so Larkin makes it to first. And now it's Hal Morris at the plate. Morris delivers a hit. That'll be into left field, so on the third base goes Larkin, and we got runners on the corners. And it is now Kevin Mitchell. It's 1-0 Cincinnati. And this ball is lined deep into center field. That's going to get down. Another run for the Reds. So the Reds coming out red hot here in the first inning. Kevin Mitchell with a double. It is now 2-0 as Don Sutton is up against it. 6-0 Reds. They've blown the doors open here in the third inning. Reggie Sanders up at the plate. Not the start the Dodgers wanted. And here's a shot way back and right. That's going to get down on the line. Sanders is going to go for extra bases. He's going to have a shot for 3. He will. A triple for Sanders with nobody out here in the third inning. Already 6-0 at LA, 7-0 here in the fourth. Rio on the mound with a 7-run lead. Not a good spot for the Dodgers. And here's Ronce deep to left. He's at least going to put the Dodgers on the board with a solo shot here. 7-1 the score. The Penguin with the home run to put the Dodgers on the scoreboard. Bottom of the sixth. Here's Garvey with the man on. Nobody out. Garvey's going to line this one to right. That ball's going to drop in there. So we got runners now on first and second. Nobody out in the sixth inning. It's a 7-1 game, and Say back up at the plate. Rio delivers. Say will go to center field. This one should be caught, however. It is. Runner's going to tag, so with one out, we got runners on the corners here. Bottom of the eighth, however, we move to. Larkin is facing Marichal, who's actually gotten into this blowout of a game. And there's a drive deep to right, way back there, looking up. Goodbye, home run, Larkin. Barry Larkin makes it 8-1. He takes Marichal deep. A thrill for him, no doubt. And 8-1 now, bottom of the eighth. Lee Lacy up there with the man on. And this one's hit deep to left field. That one's to the wall. That's going to go out of the park. Home run here. Lee Lacy, a 2-run bomb. It is 8-3 now, still in favor of the Reds. 10-3, bottom of the ninth inning. Here's Steve Yeager facing Powell. Ross Powell delivers. And this one's going to be popped up, and that should do it. Catch is going to be made by Hal Morris, and that's going to wrap it up for game one. It was all Reds here tonight. They win it 10-3 in game one, jumping all over Don Sutton and the Dodgers here in the opener. No doubts about this one, folks. Barry Larkin 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 3 runs scored. What a game for Larkin. Rio was as good as you might expect. 8 strikeouts in 7 innings. He gets the win. Lacy 3 for 4 for the losing side. And on the loss, of course, was Don Sutton, who ended up getting hammered there in the early innings. The Reds scoring 7 runs in the first 3 innings, really to put this one out of reach. Say and Lacy home runs for the home team. Larkin with the blow for the visitors. And, of course, the final 10-3 in a whitewash. So the Reds start off exactly how they would have hoped for. But long series to go still. Looking at game 2. Now the Reds pitching starts maybe to suffer a little bit with who they throw out there, but Tim Belcher will take the mound. He knows something about the Dodgers. He'll start in game 2 against Andy Messersmith, maybe the ace here for the Dodgers, taking the mound in game 2. They really need him to step up and turn things around before we head to the Midwest. So game 2 from Dodger Stadium, the Reds try to rebound. I should say the Dodgers try to rebound after the Reds really hammered him in game 1. Let's head to the action for game 2. Game 2 action now. Barry Larkin at the plate. We're in the first inning, of course. Larkin a huge game in game 1. Let's see what he can do here in game 2. This one's hit to short. Play will be made there, so that'll start the game with an easy out. To the second inning. Roberts up with a man on third. And Roberts is going to hit this one deep to center field. That's going to get down, and the Reds will get on the board again as Bip Roberts comes through with a double. 1-0 here in the second inning. The Reds mean all business so far. Bottom of the fourth, here's Jim Wynn with Say on second base, and this one's hit to center field. That'll be a hit. Let's see if Say's going to score. No, he's going to hold up. So runners first and third, 1 out, and Willie Crawford looking to tie this game up if he can. Crawford's going to line this one hard in the right field. That will tie the game, so Willie Crawford comes through. Runner heading to third, so it is 1-1 here now in the fourth inning. The Dodgers come right back, and Yeager hoping to get a hit off Belcher and continue the inning, but he will take a walk. And the base is loaded with only 1 out for Ivan DeJesus, the veteran at the plate. And DeJesus the force is at home on that play. They don't get a double play, but that's the second out, so the base is still loaded and the pitcher up now. Messersmith trying to help his own cause. He will line this one to short. Larkin's got it. He'll take it. So the Dodgers can't break it open, but they do tie the game at 1. to the 5th. Bip Roberts, who's already driven in the run, he's up there. Roberts will come through again, a long one, just over the wall and left. Bip Roberts having a huge game here. He homers to give the Reds the lead again, 2-1. Opposite field line drive just over the wall, and it is 2-1. We move bottom of the 5th. Ron Say up there with Garvey on first. Say will take this one to left field. That ball's up against the wall, and it's gone. Say another home run, his second of the series, to propel the Dodgers back up 3-2. The Penguin took that one down the line. Some doubt if it was going to be fair. It sure was, and we move to the 7th. Now Charlie Huff has come in to relieve. Reggie Sanders, the hitter. Sanders will strike out swinging there. Huff gets him. So with a man on, 3-2 pitch to Roberts, who's been red hot in this ball game. He hits it to second. Tough play there. No play. A single there for Roberts. So Roberts maybe thinking cycle today the way he's hitting. Here's Joe Oliver with one out. A big spot here. Oliver, however, hits it to second. One out there. Relay to first. Double play. Dodgers move it here 4-6-3. As we hit the stretch, they got that one-run lead. Bottom of the 7th. Let's see if Lacey can give the Dodgers more runs. And he lines a single to left field. Runner now heading home. Here's the throw. Lacey comes through. 4-2 our score. The Dodgers get some insurance. Steve Garvey now the hitter. And Garvey's going to line this one. That's going to get down and right with the man on. Garvey extra bases. Runner heading to third. He's going to try to score. It is a triple for Steve Garvey, and 5-2 now the Dodgers. A brand new team from game 1. And now we move to the 9th. They got that comfortable 6-2 lead. Sanders the hitter with 2 outs. The Dodgers looking to even the series. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. That'll do it. The Dodgers not messing around. They come right back after getting beat badly in game 1. They win game number 2 behind their man Messersmith. He goes 6 and strikes out 3, gets the win. Ron Say has been on fire, 2 for 3. He had a double and a homer and 3 RBIs in this win. And Bip Roberts, 3 for 3, a very good game for him. He made it interesting with his home run that gave the Reds the lead. But it wasn't meant to be, as the Say homer turned it around the other way. And Los Angeles would never look back. Belcher the loss, and this series even. A couple of interesting games in Los Angeles, and now everything changes as we go to the Midwest and Riverfront Stadium. On the turf, it's going to be Doug Rau against Tim Pugh. An interesting matchup pitching-wise and series-wise. We got a best of 5, and it'll be interesting to see what direction this series goes in Cincinnati. It's now game 3 as we set the table and get you out live to Riverfront for the action. Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. We are here live, ready for the action, and we're going to get started here in a minute as Pugh gets ready to open this game. Davey Lopes leading it off as we're ready to go. Series tied at 1. Full house here in Cincinnati. Here's the delivery, and this ball hit to third. Nice play there, and we are on our way here in game 3. Bottom of the 2nd, we got Joe Oliver up with 2 on and 1 out. The delivery is popped or grounded to short. Play made at second. Relay to first. Double play by the Dodgers, and an important one. Now we got Davey Lopes. Here's the pitch. This ball's lined up the middle. Lopes with a 1-out hit. So he brings his speed on the bases in this scoreless game in the 3rd. 2 on now for Lee Lacey. Lacey will ground to short. Out at second. Quick throw to first. Easy double play. And the Reds end this threat. And the game remains 0-0. Ron Say, top of the 4th inning. And Sale ground this one to second. Another double play here as the defenses have really stepped it up. We got a scoreless game in the fifth. DeJesus now facing Pugh with a man on. DeJesus lines one, and that's over the head of the left fielder, so Yeager's on his way to third. Yeager is going to hold up there. We got second and third now for the Dodgers. A nice threat for them. Doug Rao now at the plate, the pitcher, and he will ground it to short. He can't get the run in, so that's an easy out. So 2 outs now for Davey Lopes. A big spot here, full count. Here's the pitch. He walks him, so the base is loaded here. 0-0 game in the fifth, and Lee Lacy in a huge spot. 1-2 the count, and he hits it to right, but it is caught out there. Sanders has got it. To the seventh we go, still scoreless. Pugh facing Willie Crawford. And this ball is darted now down the line. Crawford's going to make it to second with a double. So a leadoff hit here for the Dodgers as they try to break the scoreless tie. Ivan DeJesus now the hitter. DeJesus is going to bunt it, but the catch is made on the fly there. So that didn't work out. 1 out runner on second. The pitcher's still in the game. Rue's going to try to come through, but he hits it right in front of the plate. It'll move the runner across to third, but now there are 2 outs, and Davey Lopes with 2 on and 2 outs. He has a chance here in the seventh. Lopes will line a single to center field, and that'll break the tie. Davey Lopes scores 2 with a 2-out hit. Getting it done. Big clutch performance there by Lopes. It is 2-0 here now, bottom of the seventh. Sabo facing Charlie Huff, who's coming in relief. This ball's drilled hard and deep into right field, and it is off the top of the wall. Just missing a home run is Sabo. Sabo, however, heading for third. A run's going to score, and it is 2-1 now. The Reds put a run on the board here in the seventh. And with nobody out, they got a runner on third to try to tie it up. Runners on the corners now for Hal Morris, who walks. So the bases are loaded. Oh, nobody out, and Joe Oliver at the plate. There's a strikeout. Huff gets a big one when he needs it. So 1 out now for Jacob Brumfield. Bases loaded. This ball's drilled into the corner. We might have the bases cleared here. 1 run in. 2 runs are going to score. It is a double. And Brumfield comes through. 2 score on the play, and the Reds take the lead 3-2. We move to the 8th. Brumfield with a big hit. Here's Steve Garvey now as the Dodgers find themselves down a run. And Garvey trying to hit it out of the park. Swings and misses. 2 outs now for Jim Wynn. Wynn will strike out. Spradlin is pitching well out of the pen. We move to the bottom of the 8th. 3-2, it's the Reds. Here's Kevin Mitchell against Al Downing. And Mitchell will drop a single to center field, so that's a hit. Leading off this inning, but we'll move to the top of the 9th, and Jeff Reardon has come in, the veteran, to try to close it down. 3-2 game. Shift is on against Crawford. Here's Reardon. This one's hit to the shortstop. The shift works out brilliantly. Nice play there. 1 out here for Yeager. Reardon delivers. This one's hit right back to him, and he throws the first for the 2nd out. So last hope here is Bill Buckner. 2 outs in the 9th inning. 0-1 pitch. Grounded up the middle, so that'll get through. So Buckner gets a hit. The Dodgers got the tying run on, but 2 outs as John Hale now the pinch hitter. And he'll hit it to second. Play made. Game over. The Reds win it here at home. A tight one. They win it 3-2. They take this one coming from behind and win it to upset the Dodgers again. And now they're in command here. 2-1. Doug Rao pitched well for the Dodgers, but it wasn't meant to be, as did Tim Pugh. Davey Lopes, the biggest hit of the game. 2 for 3 with that 2-run single with 2 outs. For at least the Dodgers, the biggest hit of the game, I should say. But in the bottom of the 7th, everything turned around as Brumfield had that big extra base hit that scored the go-ahead run and put the Reds out on top. And Jeff Reardon was able to save it. Huff getting the loss as he could not hold the lead, and the Dodger pen fell by the wayside. So A big win for the fans and for the Cincinnati Reds as they go up now 2-1 and actually have a chance now really to put their foot on the neck of the Dodgers as Rick Rhoden will take the mound for the visitors against Larry Lubers. A big spot here for the Reds as they try to continue to believe that they can pull this upset against a good Dodger team. So after the win by the Reds, let's see what happens in game number 4. Coming live now from Riverfront. Fans excited. We're excited as well. Let's get to the action. Reds and Dodgers game number 4. Davey Lopes up here, first inning. Puts down a bunt. Play is made, however, at first base by Lubers, so that'll start our game here in game number 4. Kevin Mitchell up, full count. And Mitchell will line this one in the gap, so the Reds are going to get on the board first. They do it again here. They're playing good baseball, I'll tell you. It's a double by Mitchell. 1-0 here in the very first inning. Chris Sabo now to hitter. Sabo lines this one. It's fair down in the left field corner. That'll score another run. It's 2-0 Reds. They're coming out hard here in the first inning. They've scored 2 runs. To the second we go. Win up there with nobody out. Man on second. And Win will line it. And that'll get the Dodgers on the board. That one's in the gap. Splits the zone. 2-1 our score. Win with an RBI double here. Larkin now the hitter. Larkin will line this one deep to right. Looking up. This one's got a chance. Home run. Barry Larkin. The other way. Hits second one of the series. 4-1 Reds. Larkin waits on that pitch and deposits it over the right field wall. It is now 4-1. Here's Hal Morris. 2 outs. Morris goes deep to right. He's got a chance. That's at the wall. Goodbye, home run, Morris. Rare power from him. He makes it 5-1. Back-to-back for the Reds. Larkin and Hal Morris. To the 5th. It's 5-2 now. Steve Garvey, the hitter, with 2 outs. And Garvey's going to get the Dodgers closer with a shot to the wall. Lopes is going to score, and it is 5-3. The Dodgers coming back here in the 5th inning. 6-3 our score as Yeager's up here. We're in the 6th now. Yeager will ground this one to second. Play will be made. No play will be made. It's an infield hit, so 2 on. 1 out. Cataret's the pitcher, and DeJesus is the hitter. This one's hit to third. Play made at second. Relay to first. Double play Reds. 6-3 remains the score. 7-3 now with Mitchell at the plate. Mitchell lines it deep to right, way back. Park won't hold it. Home run, Kevin Mitchell. 9-3 now, Cincinnati. Mitchell goes a long way in right field, and it is now all Reds, 9-3. Here's Reggie Sanders. Will they add even more? They will. Deep to center. Sanders over the American flag. Long gone, 481 feet. It is 10-3, and the Reds having a party here in Game 4, putting a hurt on the Dodgers. We are in the top of the 8th. Steve Foster, the pitcher, and this one's not going to stay in the yard. It is long gone and fair. Home run by Win. It is 10-4. That's a long one. Just fair. We move to the 9th now. Steve Garvey facing Foster. Strikeout. There it is. And the Reds win game number 4. They got a 3-1 game lead in this series. They won both games at home, and they took this one in commanding fashion, 10-4. Larkin 4 for 5. What a series the Hall of Famers having. 2 doubles, a homer, 3 RBIs, 3 runs. Jim Wynn 3 for 4, and Kevin Mitchell 2 for 5. He had 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. The stars of the Reds, as we warned you, if they come to life and stay healthy, they're dangerous, and they've done exactly that. Stunning here, the Dodgers again. Lubers the win, Rhoden the loss, and it happened early here for the Reds. 5 runs in the first 2 innings, setting the table, And now everything on the line as the Reds have a chance to close out this series in a quick 5 games. And they got the man they want to take the mound. It's going to be Jose Rijo, who's the ace of the Reds, who has a chance to close out the series. Don Sutton, he had a nightmarish game 1. And the pressure on the Dodgers now, because it has been all Reds, and with the momentum, I would not be shocked if they go ahead and close it out at home. So game 5 now. Let's see if the Reds can keep it going. They've played great baseball, especially hitting-wise. A lot of their stars really stepping to the plate and getting great production from the top to the bottom of the lineup. So heading out now to Riverfront Stadium, the fans in a bit of a frenzy. The Reds a chance to end the series and defeat the rival Dodgers. Two and two now to Davey Lopes as Jose Rijo takes the mound in this game number 5. And a strikeout. Lopes is down swinging, and Rio's off to the right start. Kevin Mitchell now the hitter. We're in the bottom of the first, and Mitchell is going to line this one deep to right. Could it be again? Yes, it can. Into the second deck. Kevin Mitchell, 2-0 Reds. The hits just keep on coming for Cincinnati, and they get off to the perfect start here against Sutton, who's had a nightmare so far. Bottom of the second, here's Bip Roberts. And Roberts is going to get on the board with his own home run. Another long blast for the Reds. 3-0. So to the 7th we go, 4-0 now. Bases loaded for Chris Sabo. And Sabo's going to line it down the line and right. More runs for the Reds. This is going to score at least 2, maybe more. A 3-run double by Chris Sabo. It is 7-0 Reds. And this series is all but wrapped up, folks, as Jose Rijo is pitching a shutout. We are in the 9th with 2 outs. Ron Cey, the hitter. What else can you say about Rijo? Here's a ground ball to second. It's over. Cincinnati wins it. They take all 3 games at home and run away from the Dodgers. Jose Rijo with the shutout. It is the 1993 Reds celebrating on their home field. They get the job done. What a performance. Rijo striking out 5. He went 9 innings. Bip Roberts with that home run, and Kevin Mitchell in the first inning with a 2-run shot. That's all the Reds would need. A 3-hitter, as Don Sutton did settle down a little bit later, but boy, oh boy, he was up against the freight train in Rio, and he takes his second loss, a series to forget for the Dodgers and Sutton. Wow, no one expecting Cincinnati to come out quite that way, but surely they did, and you can see here the numbers. Barry Larkin, 476 for the series, 2 home runs, 10 hits. He's our MVP. Bip Roberts, 2 home runs. He hit 467. Hal Morris, 333, 3 RBIs. Sabo, 294. He drove in 5. Mitchell drove in 6 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Jose Rijo, 2-0, 1.13 ERA, 13 Ks in his efforts. Boy, oh boy, other than Tim Belcher, who had a little bit of a rough series, the Reds pitched very, very well. Catteray got part of the bullpen with Landrum, Reardon, and Spradlin. And the Reds, through and through, Lubers, he took a win, even though he got hit a little bit, but not to matter. The only game that the Reds would falter in would be game number 2. Everything else went their way. A few of them, or most of them, games 1, 4, and 5, actual blowouts. So Cincinnati, the victors. Looking at LA's information, you can see here that Willie Crawford only drove in 1, even though he hit 389. Steve Garvey, 286 with only 2 RBIs. Lacey drove in 3, but the averages dropped from there. Ron Cey at 211, even if he hit 2 home runs. Davey Lopes at 200. Ivan DeJesus, 125. Yeager even just as pitiful, 185. They were both 2 for 16. At the pitching, Rao and Marshall did pitch well in relief. However, Messersmith, other than his good start, you had issues. Don Sutton in the ERA over 12. Charlie Huff in the ERA over 20. Rick Rhoden, his bad bullpen work didn't help matters. And you can see here that the Dodgers didn't get their customary dominant pitching. They actually got hammered pretty good in a lot of these ball games. Our MVP is Barry Larkin. He had a heck of a series, leading his club as you might expect. 476. He was 10 for 21, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, a stolen base, scored 7 runs, 520 plus on base, and an OPS of 1.427. Larkin, a Cincinnati native, does it for his team as the Reds run away with this series and surprise a lot of people. So that is a wrap. Also got to tip my hat to Jose Rijo. He was awesome, including that complete game shutout in game number 5. You can definitely make an argument he deserves the MVP as well. Either way, it's the Reds that celebrate. They win all 3 games at home after splitting in LA and moving forward. So this is Series 166, a surprising one and a quick one. 5 games only. It ends up going to the 1993 Cincinnati Reds, who beat the 1975 LA Dodgers in 5 games. Thanks for joining us. Hope you continue to be part of all these series that we present to you. We'll be right back with you with the next one. But as of now, it's the Reds fans celebrating. They win this in 5 in actually very, very surprising fashion. We'll be with you shortly. Enjoy yourselves and tune in again very soon. Bye-bye.